Right folks, welcome back to Fishing with Kirk. So today we are at Baden Hall fishery over in Staffordshire, a place called Eccles Hall. So we've got 48 hours on a lake called Glover's. So 6-acre lake, 8 pegs on it. There's actually 7 fishing today, so it's pretty busy. It's about 24-25 wraps to the far side. Depth's down to about 8 feet and it shallows up nicely to the far side. It's fishing here to £45. I don't think there's loads from what I can gather. It's definitely a kind of nick a bite or two in 48 hours, but chance of a really good fish. So we are got the trap set. You're only allowed to fish 2 rods at Baden Hall, which is a little bit unusual. So what I've done is I've taken a rod pretty much as far as I can to the far margin, fishing in about 4 foot of water. Just fishing one of the small bait bombs that I showed you on the last video with a Ronnie rig and a 12mm krill pop-up. And then on the second rod I've given him a little bit of bait. I've come a couple of 2 or 3 rod lengths off the bank in about 6.5 foot of water just as it starts to slope up into that margin. So I've probably fed, I don't know, 3 or 4 pints of bait there. So a mixture of hemp, pellets, corn and some krill boilies. So I've given him a bit of bait on one line, not a lot on the other, fishing in 2 different depths. Going to keep my eyes and ears peeled and see what we can catch. So one of the lads further down on peg 2 had a 21 pounder just as I was setting up, so it's positive. It's kind of, weather's really strange. It's rained this morning, but I'm absolutely dripping. So it's not very warm. It's about 18-19 degrees, but dead humid. Overcast, wind blowing into the far corner, so pretty good conditions, reasonably low pressure. So we'll give it a go, and if we get anything, you'll be the first to know. Morning gang, it's 4:30, got up nice and early, watching the water, see if I can see signs of any fish. Didn't really see anything showing last night, not heard or seen of any fish caught. We had quite a lot of rain overnight and it's really quite cold now. It's probably 8 or 9 degrees, it's dropped pretty chilly overnight, so just keeping an eye on the water. Because we've got an opportunity to potentially move. We've got the 3 lads in pegs 1, 2 and 3. Who are going off today and a couple of guys coming on, so just trying to consider whether we make a move or not. So it's going to keep watching the water, see if we can see anything, and we'll make our mind up in the next hour or 2. Right folks, we've had a move, so I've been watching the water this morning. Pretty clear there's some fish up this end, kind of off the back of the wind, and I've managed to get in peg 1, which is pretty sought after. So peg 1, the end peg, got quite a lot of water. So you can see here, a lot of water to the left, and it's probably about 140 yards right across to the margin. And also peg 2 is not in, so I've got loads of space. The fish this morning that we saw jumping were probably in front of pegs 2 and 3. So to begin with, I've put 1 rig pretty much slap bang in front of peg 2 in about 7 foot of water, real light scattering of bait. And then similarly my left hand rod, I've gone right up into the far corner, so I'm about 130 yards with that one. So the guys in it before, shout out to them, they're Manx in a Van, so they'll be launching their own YouTube channel soon, so check those guys out. They were in here. Between them they had a fish off peg 2, a fish off peg 3, didn't actually have anything off peg 1. I'm hoping that the fish have backed off into that top corner, so I've snuck a couple of rigs in, handful of bait over each, and fingers crossed. And also shout out to the guy on peg 8 who actually broke his PB last night. He had a 34 pounder at 3:30 this morning, so I don't know what your name is, but good angling buddy, nice work. See if I can get one. Right gang, word of warning for you when goo goes wrong. So I've just had a bottle of goo explode, so I added some hydro spod liquid to it, which is obviously active, and it's been fermenting away in there for however long, obviously with the pineapple in there, and I've just opened it and it's gone boom everywhere. It's gone up my nose and it's absolutely covered me. So yeah, word of warning, just be careful with active spod syrup and sealed bottles. Right gang, I've just literally repositioned my middle rod with a solid bag, and my right hand rod's gone. So that's the rod, just a standard bottom bait rig. But again, over to the reeds where I've seen a couple of fish tops, so wicked. Fish on. The move was definitely worth it. This is a rod that's close to 25 wraps, so it's a fair old way out there. Can't really get a sense of how big it is at the minute, but most of the fish in the lake are over 20 pounds, so fingers crossed. Yeah, definitely woken up. I'm actually using my new reels for the first time as well, so I'm just not that used to the clutch and how they play, so I'm just getting used to that, which is probably not the place to come and figure them out, in fairness, given the size of some of the fish in here. So let's see what we've got. Well, yeah, I literally just tidied myself up after the, we'll call it the goo incident. Got the middle rod positioned to a fish that I'd seen showing, just on the phone to the kids, and then bang, right hand rod just melted away. Annoyingly, the back legs come right up to the tip, which I never like. Get the fish a bit closer and hopefully it'll drop back down. Yeah, I fished a 45 pound in here, so yeah, pretty exciting place to get a run, because you never know quite what's going to be on the end. What a palaver, but we got one in the net. Right folks, just got the rods redone. It's about 7:30. Nice £18 4-ounce common there, so anyone who's done any of the giveaways to win the bivvy light, £18 4 ounces was the next carp that I caught. So rods are reset, hoping for another one or two overnight. Seen a little bit of activity across that far side, so yeah, hopefully we can snare one in the next 12 hours before we have to pack up and go home. So fingers crossed we get a bigger one. Fish on folks, same rod. Really funny little bite, it was really twitchy. But yeah, I just left it, tightened up to it, and it's just gone off, so yeah, happy days. It's about 8:30, so about an hour after we had the first fish. Same rig, so just on that German rig over. Enough bait to get a bite really, probably 7 or 8 full boilies, 40 or 50 pellets, a handful of maize, all mixed up with some spod syrup. So hopefully we've latched into one of the bigger residents, because they do go to over 40 in here. Different fight to last time. It definitely feels like he's just hugging the bottom, which is generally a good thing as far as big fish are concerned. So we're fishing with sticky baits, krill. It's the first time I've really used that bait. You have to use freezer bait on here, so I fancied the krill, fish meal based. Nice common by the looks of it. Right folks, we've only gone and done it. We've only gone and caught our £30 UK carp, which was one of the targets at the start of the season, so absolutely made up. We got ourselves a lovely common, £30 4 ounces of Baden Hall Glover's common carp. Absolutely beautiful fish, not a mark on it. How about that, eh? Chap in the next peg has just been down and done a good few photos. We moved the cradle to get it in front of the sun, so hopefully we'll have some nice pictures to share. So until then, I'm going to say goodbye to the big guy. And like I say, there are fish half his size again swimming around in this lake, so hopefully we'll see one of those later. Righty, so before it gets any darker, I just thought I'd share the rig that I've been catching on. So I've had the 2 bites on this same rig. So it's essentially a German rig, 25-pound coated braid. I've stripped back the last 4 or 5 inches, and then I've just tied via a knotless knot onto there a size 6. One of these, so one of the IB hooks, the Euro range. Massive fan of these, the hand sharpened hooks. I think that's absolutely crucial when you're fishing for big fish. And then I've just got a ring swivel and a little bead on there. And then I've just got some pieces. Well, I did have 2 pieces of putty on there. I had a piece of putty on the join, piece of putty halfway down the rig, and then I've just got a rig sleeve on that end. So dead simple, get fishes over lots of different types of bottoms. There's a little bit of weed in here, so I just fancied this will just give me the opportunity to present. And then that's just a 16mm sticky baits, the krill wafter. So that's the rig. Rod's back out. Let's see if we can get a triple. Right folks, we're away again. Not sure what time it is. Just flown out of the bivvy to a 1-toner on the left hand rod, which has got a solid bag underneath that marginal tree in about 3.5 feet of water. So yeah, absolutely tore off. Pitch black, middle of the night, no idea what time. Nice mirror. Ugh. Yeah, lovely looking fish. Looks to be a low 20, fully scaled mirror by the looks of it. So let's get him out and have a look. A very lively, lovely looking fish. We'll give ourselves £22.5 for this one. Look at this for a fish then, folks. An absolute beautiful fish this is. £22.4 on the nose. Beautiful, fully scaled English mirror. Fantastic. Hey Siri, say cheese. Right, I'll just share with you the baiting approach that I've been using. So my mixture looks effectively like that. So what we've got here is a combination of different things, different sizes. So I believe when you're fishing for big wary carp in particular, that a mixture of different sizes and baits and colours can be helpful. I think it makes it quite difficult for them to pick out a hook bait. So you can imagine a car park with 1,000 red cars in. It'd be dead easy to spot the blue car. But if you've got a car park with all different coloured cars in, it's really quite hard to spot a car. So my logic is that I put a number of different sizes of particles and colours and flavours in there, in the hope that it's quite difficult for the fish to pick out. So basis for the mix has been sticky baits, the krill, the active mix. So it's freezer bait only on here, so I've put a good chunk of that in the mix. I've crushed a few up, along with some pellets. So different pellets, to be honest. I've been collecting them along the way. I've been picking them some up from different venues, house pellets. So I've got some 11 millers in there. I think they were from Trent View, stuff like that, and then down to some micros. So whatever, I've not been precious about the pellet that's gone in there. I've also chucked in a couple of tins of sweet corn and a tin of hemp, and then I've mixed all that up with some of this DNA baits and the bug active spod syrup. Love this. It smells, I don't know whether I love it or hate it, but it's definitely got a great smell to it, and I've been really successful with big fish with it. And then on the hook bait, I've been using one of these 16mm, the krill wafters. So again, krill, real kind of standard fish meal bait, and these hook baits have got a slight coating on them, so they seem to have done the trick for me for my 3 bites. So there we go, that's the bait. And then in terms of volume, I've literally put 3 handfuls of this mix in the back of the bait boat and sent that out with a rig each time. Righty, it's Friday morning, it's about 8 o'clock. I've got to be off for 11, so I'm going to start a bit of a slow pack up. I've got the M60 around Manchester to contend with, so I think the longer I leave that on a Friday, the worse that's going to get. So Baden Hall, Glover's Lake. I suppose literally a game of 2 halves. So I started off in peg 4. It's about halfway up the lake for nothing. Barely saw a fish for 24 hours, and then I had the opportunity to move into peg 1 yesterday morning, which I did. We'd seen more fish activity in sort of pegs 2 and 3, so I thought I'll hedge my bets. I'll go in 1, and then at least I can push a rod towards 2. So I've had 3 cracking fish. I mean, the condition of the fish are fantastic. The commons are really dark, lovely English strain, and then that mirror that I caught last night, fully scaled, absolutely beautiful fish. So the fishing's been really good. If I'm honest, on a venue like this, I really am targeting 1 or 2 bites in 48 hours, given the size and the quality of the fish that we're after. So Baden Hall itself, it's near Eccles Hall in Staffordshire, so a bit of a drive from myself in Leeds, but a really nice venue. So really spotless. There's a number of lakes here to cater for every type of fishing you want to do. So there's the Quarry Lake, which I suppose is the jewel in the crown. There's fish to 50 pound in there. It's a bigger lake than this one, but it's a bit more intimate. There's some islands, there's lots of gullies, there's lots of areas to sort of for fish to hide. And then there's 2 similar lakes to Glover's. So you've got Bridgepool as well, which is slightly bigger, but it's the same idea. You're fishing on one bank and you're fishing across to the other bank, and both of those lakes have got fish to over 40 in, with Glover's having fish to 45. So a really good head of fish to go at. I don't know how many fish are in here. The guys claim they don't know how many fish are in here. I'd say it's on the lower side of a stocking density in terms of number of fish that we've seen caught. And they were talking about hits of 6 or 7 fish in 48 hours being exceptional. So clearly not loads in here, but what the fish that are in here are very, very good quality and growing to a great size. So in terms of other facilities at Baden Hall, you get all your kind of fish care equipment, so you don't need to bring cradles, slings and nets with you. That's all provided. There are toilets as well, kind of scattered around, so portaloos scattered around the lakes. And then there's also a really well-stocked tackle shop, so you can get all your bait, you get lots of tackle. You can buy rods and reels in there, so it's a good tackle shop. There's an on-site cafe as well that do breakfast, so you can go up there on a morning and have some breakfast and lunch, and at dinner time they will actually deliver to your peg. So last night I got a burger and chips delivered to the peg at 6 o'clock, which was great. It saved me having to bring as much food and worry about cooking on the second night, so that's definitely something I'd recommend. Probably the downsides, I would say, it's quite a noisy place actually. You're quite near a road, you might be able to hear the road noise. There's a train line goes along the back of us, and there's also an army training camp that's pretty close by. So on Wednesday night it was, the first night, there was sounded like there was a blank firing exercise going on for most of the night, so you could just hear the sound of kind of machine guns tapping away for most of the night. So that was an interesting sound, but not one that I particularly enjoyed. And then the moorhens and coots are the noisiest bloody moorhens and coots that I've ever heard in my life. So it's a little bit noisy, but apart from that, I've really enjoyed my time at Baden Hall, and it's definitely somewhere that I'd like to come back and check out. And if you're in the market for some quality fish up to £40, then I would definitely give Glover's Lake a go, and hopefully you've learnt a few pointers from this video. But as always, if you don't mind liking the vid, put anything in the comments, ask me any questions you like, and if you haven't subscribed yet, why not get subscribing? But until next time, tight lines.